Well, I must say it's a pleasure to be here tonight representing the Massachusetts State Grange. You have put on a very fine evening. When I first walked in and saw the fine dining outside, and the food was great, and the camaraderie was beautiful. It's nice to see the support that the Grange has here for the friends and the family of the members, that the friends and the family of the members are here to see and support the Grange. It's really, really nice. I must say, this last year and a half has kind of been a roller coaster. I could have never imagined that I'd be stepping in George's shoes and come forward with a pandemic and not being able to meet, because as we all know, the Grange is all about family. It's all about getting together. It's all about helping our community. And not being able to get together and have that physical connection that we always have was tough. But we did step ahead and get into Zoom meetings and be able to get together virtually. A lot of Granges have really dug down in their community and helped out with, different things that they did, whether it was, food banks or masks or, I could go on at the amount of things that they did in the community to help out. And it just shows how vibrant the Grange is in a lot of communities and how important the Grange is in a lot of communities. And it's for us to get out and show our community what the Grange is all about. Because we are, as we say, the best kept secret out there. It's one of the organizations that will allow every member of the family to join in and participate and have fun and get involved. And it's just a wonderful thing. But again, on behalf of Massachusetts Grange, thank you for having us here tonight and helping with your presentation of the membership awards tonight and your citizen awards this evening. It's definitely a privilege on my part, and I'm sure on the state offices that are here this evening, to help out and be involved in this. So this evening, what's going to happen is we have several guests here that will escort our members that are receiving 25, 50, 60, 70, 75, or 80 awards. So what we also want to do is that we have all the certificates, the pins, we have the seals. Easton Grange has also put together Grange tote bags, and they put Massachusetts cotton boards in them, and which is really, really nice. And they have letters that were written to each one of the participants that are receiving a membership certificate, not only from myself, but also from the National Grange. So at this time, we can start with our presentation tonight. And our first presentation is going to Lori Alden for a 25-year pin, and she's being escorted by her mother, Shirley Brigham. Thank you, Shirley. Lori, this is kind of as I read this letter, this is a letter that I wrote to Lori, and from the Massachusetts State Grange. And it goes, Sister Lori, I want to personally congratulate you on your 25 years of dedicated service to the Grange. I hope your journey over the past 25 years has been fulfilling and rewarding. Within that time, I'm sure you have developed some wonderful friendships and made many cherished memories. The Grange has different meanings for every member, but in the end, we are all one Grange family. I wish you many more wonderful adventures in your journey toward your next milestone. On behalf of the Massachusetts State Grange, I extend to you our appreciation on your commitment to the Grange and offer best wishes for many more years to come. Attorney Glenn Gibson, President of Massachusetts State Grange. So, Lord, it's my honor to present to you your pin, your certificate. Here is your bag with your rest of your Our next recipient is Hazel Burrell, and she is being escorted by Brother George Thomas, who was our General Deputy. Yeah, that's fine. Good evening, Hazel. I tell you, being here earlier this evening, being able to have a conversation with you, and the amount of wealth of information that you are is tremendous. As I said to many, where is your hand recorder? Every time she tells a story, we should be recording this because these are memories, cherished memories and information about not only the Grange, but a history of our area that we will lose at some point. But it doesn't look like you're going anywhere very fast. I heard you're doing a tour on a 2-hour bus. That is phenomenal. So here is also another letter that is made out to you personally. It kind of, I don't want to read each one of them. I don't know if anybody wants me to read them. I'd be more than happy to. But we have several this evening. But I write these letters to each one, and they all change just a little bit and expect for what they participated in the Grange and how they've done. But again, congratulations. And I'm sure that you'll have more memories and more journeys on your way. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So our next recipient is a 50-year recipient, 50 years of being in the Grange. And this is Sister Shirley Brigham, who is being escorted by our state floor, the Massachusetts State Grange, Sister Patty Gibson. Sister Shirley, again, it's my pleasure to be the one to be able to present this to you. I have also a letter for you, and it's definitely a lot different than the first one because you have another 25 years of being a member, and that is phenomenal. I was discussing this with my wife on the way down, and we were trying to figure out when I joined the Grange. And I said, not that long ago, 30 years maybe. But it was actually 44 years ago. I said, wow, I'm coming up on my 50th. I can't wait, you know? So I'm pretty excited. I said, it's amazing. But, so what happens is, you would get a golden sheet. And I'm going to read this. And it's actually, they're all serial numbered. So this is just for you. It says, issued by the National Grange of the Order of Patrons Husbandry and recognition of 50 years continuous Grange membership. Certifies that Shirley Brigham has been enrolled in the permanent records of those who have devoted a half-century of service to the Order. Issued at Washington, D.C. this 6th day of April in 2021. Signed by our National President, Betsy E. Huber, and also our secretary, Judith Sherrod. So again, it's my pleasure and honor to present to you your pin, your gold sheet, and your letter, and your basketball. I know you know Shirley very well, and you can probably enlighten a few of us on. Well, I don't know if you want to do that, but you can enlighten us.
Well, Sister Shirley, it is my honor to bring you up to receive the 50-year. We've been friends for 50 years.
Yeah.
You joined me a month before I did, and we had a lot of great times, a lot of marching around halls, the rework, the whole way. My brothers and honesty, we became good friends, and we are still friends. And to everyone in the Grange, this was a friendship from the Grange, okay? And I met a lot of people through the Grange. And just like the other people know, I grew up in Easton Grange. I was one of their past masters. And I am so proud of Easton Grange for redoing and being reorganized in that. Thank you for bringing Shirley.
Thank you very much. Thank you both. Our next recipient of a 50-year golden sheet is, we got to skip a couple. Edward Cedarholm Jr., being escorted by our state series, and Easton Grange treasurer Lynn Martin. Brother Ed, again, it's a pleasure to be here this evening. I gotta say, you know, it's been a long journey for all of us, and I was so excited. I said to my wife earlier this evening, I said, we have not been able to physically meet in a while, so an event like this was phenomenal. And I says, hey, guess what? You know that suit you bought me 2 years ago? I can finally wear it. So I said, it's a pleasure to be here again. I'm so happy that everybody came out and we were able to take in to be here. It is truly an honor, and I'm sure you have many memories of the Grange in your journey, and I hope you have many, many more with your next milestone. And I want to present to you, man. This is a pin, golden sheet, and letter. Also, you letter. Sure.
We have, as a family, the Cedarholms have quite a history with the Grange. And obviously goes back many, many years. And I was in this meeting of celebration when my uncle John Teaser received his 50-year sheet. And I was also in the same similar meeting when both my parents, my mom and my dad, Mabel and Ed Cedarholm, received their 50-year sheet. And I always had the opinion that, very similar to Roger Marks, that I'm not sure if I want to be a member of any organization that would have me as a member. But since you have accepted me, it's just a tremendous honor to be able to receive this recognition this evening. To come from the days of the late 60s, early 70s, when it was very difficult to get a quorum in the meetings, to see the tremendous turnout and participation that's here this evening, and to have the honor to actually meet the state master is quite an event for me, and I thank you very much for that.
members that are not able to be here this evening because of illness, that I think are a very intricate part of this Grange and have been from the beginning. And you would say that because they're getting 50-year certificates. The two people that are not here tonight is Alan Caldwell and Beverly Caldwell. They, as I've been in the Grange for quite some time, I know Patty's here and Marion Caldwell is here, and they know as well as I do of how much they participated in the Grange and how much they support the Grange, and they still support the Grange. So I just wanted to add this evening that they also are receiving both 50-year Golden Chiefs. So that I hope at some point in the future at your next meeting or your next gathering, and they're healthy enough that they can come and you can present them to them. And please call me if you'd like. I'd love to come down. All right, now we're taking a jump. We're going from 50 to 70 years. And our next recipient is Norma Raymond. Norma Raymond. I'm sorry, Norma.
I think it was.
She's being escorted by Brother Manning, who is on our Veterans Committee and also a deputy, and on our executive. Sister Norma, when I saw you come down the walkway, I said, wow. I have not seen Norma in probably 20 years or more. And I never forget a face. I may forget a name, but I never forget a face. And I never forget somebody who has been so involved in the Grange and been a real prominent member in the Grange. And always been a backbone for a lot of people. When we came in here and she says, well, who's doing the presentation? I says, well, I am. Oh, good, I found the right person, and she handed me her golden sheet. So I was like, wow, this is such an honor. Because when I opened it up, not only do you get this booklet at 50, but you get another certificate that is put in the book at 55, and at 60, and at 65. And now she is putting, I just put one in for her for 70. 70 years in the Grange.
You put 2 more into that.
So actually 72. So hopefully I'll be here for her 80th. But Norma, it is truly an honor and a pleasure to present this to you. And I can only imagine the journeys and the memories that you have from the Grange and the friendships that you must cherish of all ages. So again, on behalf of the Massachusetts State Grange and the National Grange, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we look forward to seeing you here at 80.
You said it was 49 years, 1949, that was 72 years ago. And then I went from, when they closed, I went to Easton Grange, and then I went to Abington, and then they came after Eastern. And I did master, and I think I hit practically all the offices of the Grange. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
The first junior grade master.
Wow, that's great. Well, there you go. All right, our next recipient is a 75-year recipient. Betty Holbert, who is being escorted by our state promoter, Christine Day. Hi, Betty. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
I could never imagine by looking at you that you've been in the Grange for 75 years. I only hope that I will look as good as you. I don't think that's a chance. Well, Betty, I'm going to hand you this bag.
Thank you very much.
And this is your 75 year.
Oh, wonderful. I have a home here.
And this is a letter that I had also wrote to you. But also at 75, because you filled up your book already, National Grange now sends you this certificate.
Oh, beautiful.
So it says, patrons of Order of Husbandry, the certificate of 75 years of steadfast, faithful, and devoted membership is awarded to Betty Holmberg in fraternal recognition of the contribution to development and accomplishments of the Grange, a society of service. Again, signed by Betsy E. Huber, President of the National Grange, and Judy Sherrod, Secretary, on April 6, 2020. So, again, Betty,
Thank you very much.
it is a pleasure and an honor to have present you with this. And would you like to say something a little about your Grange journey?
We just lived, near the Grange, so we very much dedicated to going when we were young. I think I was 14 years old when I joined.
Congratulations.
And everybody was joined at 14, and the whole neighborhood wanted to be there. Because we did all kinds of things, square dancing, minstrel shows, all kinds of things.
Very nice.
And we just had a lot of fun.
Well, good.
We even had our wedding reception at the Grange.
That's what I heard. I heard you talking about that earlier in the evening.
68 years ago. Yep.
Wow, congratulations. So the Grange means a lot to you. So we have one more presentation. Unfortunately, Sister Bernice Skinner was not able to be here. She actually lives in New York with her son. Sister Bernice was to receive an 80-year recognition. So we were able to contact the New York State President about 3 weeks ago and put together that 2 of their state offices actually visited Bernice and her son in New York and presented her with her 80-year recognition, which was a phenomenal thing, and she was so ecstatic. I know we have a video of the presentation that we'd like to give to you guys this evening. Sister Louise, I want to personally congratulate you on your 80 years of dedicated service to Grange. This is a very impressive achievement and something to be very proud of. You have become an inspiration to change many in the Grange, and I'm honored to recognize you for this great accomplishment. I hope your journey over the past 80 years has been fulfilling and rewarding. Within that time, I'm sure you have developed some wonderful friendships and made many cherished memories. The Grange has different meanings for every member, but in the end, we are all one Grange family. On behalf of the Massachusetts City Grange, I extend to you our appreciation for your commitment to the Grange and offer you our best wishes for many years to come. Fraternally, Glenn D. Easton, Master of Massachusetts City Grange.
Dear Sister Bernice, one of the pleasures of the Office of Master of the National Grange is to congratulate and send warm greetings to a patron who has served the Grange for 80 continuous years. Our mission as a national organization is to improve the quality of life for our members, their families, and the communities in which they live. Central to that mission are dedicated patrons like yourself who have given many years of faithful leadership and service. Your brothers and sisters across the nation join me in extending a sincere thanks and appreciation to you for your lifelong service to our fraternity. I wish for you continued years of fellowship and enjoyment in our order. Fraternally yours, Bessie E. Cuber, Master of the National Grange. So we will give these letters to yours to keep. All right, now I would like to present you with your 80-year pin. Congratulations. We have one more gift from Massachusetts. Here's a cutting board of Massachusetts State Grange. With a zero from Massachusetts State Grange. Yeah? So that is your gift for 80 years of service to our wonderful organization. Thank you very much. Alright, would like to set this to the side here? Put that in there? Okay. There you go, yeah? Congratulations. There you go, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, as you can see in the video and through tonight, that when you join the Grange, you do join a family. To be able to reach out across to New York and be able to have people come forward and do a presentation for us, it was phenomenal. And I've learned as I've been in the Grange that no matter where I go, I can always find a friend, I can always find a house, I can always find a meal. What the Grange is always, was always originated was friends, friendship, and food. and the importance that we do within our communities. So again, thank you again for allowing me to take and do these presentations tonight, these recognitions, and being involved in your meeting here tonight. Next on the agenda tonight is Easton Grange's Community Citizens Award. And at this time, I would like to introduce Easton Grange's lecturer, Priscilla Almquist. Let me hold it.
Thank you.
I'm going to let you say it right there. And I don't know if you need this at all. No, you're all set. It's all yours. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Tonight we're going to honor Avery Lee Williams. And to do that, I want to introduce Ed Hands, who, with our distinguished award recipient, Hazel Burrell, is also our Easton Town historian. Ed followed in Hazel's footsteps to become chairman of the history department at the Alderman's High School. And so Ed is very familiar with the history of his town. Even though he's a Braintree boy, he knows more about Easton and its people, Ames family, all traditions that most of us just have a very shallow knowledge of. And so we look to Ed for guidance, for history, and tonight he's going to give you an example of that in talking about the contributions of Avery Lee Williams. Thank you. Ed Hands.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Priscilla. But you'll notice, folks, that the person who's going on the bus tour this Friday is Hazel Burrell, the real historian at Easton. Thank you. I think most of us heard by this time that Lee had a heart attack this morning. And it's in rather difficult circumstances right now. We had hoped that he would be here today, and a few days ago that clearly became impossible. And then we had hoped his son Kevin would be here, but Kevin is at the hospital with Lee. So if you would like, I recommend some prayers. This has changed my speech a little bit, as serious as I can be. Which is difficult with Lee, because as we all know, no one has been more filled with life and entertainment than Lee Williams. But in thinking about his contributions to the town of Easton, there's always underneath the joviality a lot of serious concern for our community. If you don't know his personality, he's the kind of guy that will come up to you and quote your phone number because he's memorized it, even if you haven't. He's the kind of guy that is always good for a toast at any occasion or a poem. He'd love to do that. He'd love to travel around the world, and he's been to more countries than probably 10 people in town. And he also loved dancing. He wasn't very good at it, but he did love it. And let's hope that there's some more dancing left in his life. Well, Lee was born in Furnace Village, which, for those of you who don't know, is on the other side of town, down by the Five Corners. It's become much more civilized than Lee was when Lee and I were raised in that area. There's stores now. We had Ed Roden's store and a gas station, but now there's Target and all sorts of places. And Lee had many wonderful stories about growing up and farm life in Forest Village. Lee joined the Grange, Harmony Grange, not the 196. Harmony Grange was on Bay Road, and he joined when he was 12 years old, and stayed in the Grange until the teen years when he had to seek employment. One of the employment was related to farm work, and he worked with my dad at the Harper Poultry Company and developed a lifelong interest in agriculture. And he became one of the very first organic farmers here in Easton, something that he was very happy to see develop with Landwater Farm on the area across the street from the Grange Hall. He was also very, very proud to be a graduate of Bridgewater State College, and we attended a number of events. Lee is a strong donor to many programs at Bridgewater, and is well known to the staff and should be known to the students there for his generosity. Lee became a financial advisor and did very well with that. His family, children, and a child and grandchild are now involved in the business, and he was always very proud of his family getting involved. And part of the reason was not that it was a lucrative profession, but because he was able to help many people in Easton achieve financial security, which is a wonderful role. He also achieved financial security, and unlike so many people that achieve success, he gave back to the community. And I could be here for the rest of the evening talking about things that we donated to. We asked Lee to write a biography before we became ill, and the biography stretches to 12 pages, listing all of his contributions. But I'll just share a few with you. He was a supporter of the YMCA, which is more than, as they'll tell you, gym and swim. They do a lot of daycare and welfare programs. He was a major supporter of the Historical Society for over 20 years. Lee and his son Kevin have sponsored something called Charter and Chatter, which gives panels of people an opportunity to come together, talk about the history of Easton, while the local Historical Society people get to have a wonderful meal at Southeastern Regional. They also dedicated a donation to his mom, and we have a room, our library at the Historical Society, to her. We didn't forget his dad. Avery Sr. has a shop at Oliver's High School dedicated to him. Lee was a big donor to the library. The sound system at the Fleece Gardens was provided by Lee. Lee was a huge supporter of the NRT. His big project there was a composting toilet. Okay. He believed in environmentalism, and he also believed in doing his research. So I was drafted into following him around to various composting toilets all over Massachusetts until we found the perfect system for the NRT. All of us probably know that across the street from the Farmer's Daughter, there's a big giant clock, and that's another donation from Lee, another thing where he spent hours and hours doing research to find the perfect clock, one that would never run slow, and if it did, the company would come immediately to fix it. All of these things, all of these donations were aimed at building community. And I think that goes back to his early days in the Grange, which is what are we about besides giving back to the community? And many of his other activities were donation of his time and his ideas to develop leadership in our community. He started out in 4-H. He was a 4-H leader, teaching organic gardening to young people, and he found that he liked building leadership skills. So he continued on. He became a leader in the JCs when they were a very strong organization all across Massachusetts. And most particularly, the two things that dominated the last decades of his life. One, he was a charter member of Easton's Community Preservation Act Committee, which has distributed actually millions of dollars in projects related to historical renovation, affordable housing, and conservation. Three things that Lee was very strongly in favor of. He also, as many of us know, was a dynamic leader of the Lions. If you found a Lion here in Easton and asked who got you into the Lions, 80% were drafted by Lee. He would never leave you alone. He carried cards, Lee Williams, membership person for Lions, and would hand them out to strangers, just in the hope that they would join the Lions Club, and many of them did. Okay. He finally got me with negative psychology. Oh, I know you're too busy to join the Lions. No, you just don't have the time, so I'm not even going to ask you. I ended up joining the Lions. It was a wonderful decision on my part. Well, one of the big things that the Lions do is give away a lot of money every year to high research, but also to the community. And Lee wanted to find a way to kind of touch on his heritage of being a Granger when he was young, and also finding a way to make more money for the Lions Club. So he got the idea of building a thrift store inside the Grange Hall. And in order to do that, as we have heard, it was getting hard to get a quorum for Grange meetings. So he decided to use his enlistment skills to build up membership in the Grange to the point where we could become the organization you see here tonight. And at the same time, provide us with funds to restore the Grange Hall and allow the Lions Club to run a thrift store there. And it's a very nice deal for us. We get our percentage of the proceeds for which we use for our charitable donations. We also use it for the wonderful meal you guys had tonight. And it worked out very, very well. Lee was our first master of the modern era. We were inducted, Lee, myself, and Bill Ames were inducted by Norma when she was master of the Grange. And it's been a wonderful experience for me. It was a wonderful experience for Bill. And it's something that Lee will always be remembered for. So, generosity, building leadership, being strong for the community are all things that I think make Lee Williams a deserving recipient of our first Community Citizens Award. So if Larry would come up on behalf of the Lions Club and accept this for Bill. So we have a thing here. Grangers honor those who live by the principles of faith in God, nurturing hope, dispensing charity, and being noted for fidelity. Well, that's Lee, for sure. So it says, Lee Avery Williams, in recognition of your outstanding service to this community and mankind, your dedication and personal involvement are gratefully and sincerely acknowledged by the members of Easton Grange number 196, 20th of September 2021, signed by Bill Ames and Priscilla on Christmas.